And I'm back with Tara McNamara to talk a little bit more about this version of Scarface. Now, Tara, before the movie, you teased that Howard Hughes eventually went crawling to Will Hayes at the production code to ask for some help with this film. What was the upshot?
They had an idea. They said, let's turn it into anti-gun propaganda. And that is the words they use over and over again. They realized that there were editorials being written and public sentiment was changing where they thought, if we could just get the guns out of the hands of criminals, it would change everything. And so they basically make it into an anti-gun movie. It's astonishing, but they added 10 moments to sort of capitalize on this feeling.
And earlier you talked about this idea of kids watching this movie and rooting for the gangsters, and that was an issue. But that also dovetails kind of with what your purpose has been as a media professional, focusing on kids watching movies, parents watching movies, watching them together. That's been very important to you.
Yeah, it actually starts for me at TCM. So when my son was like 8 years old, there was really nothing we could watch together. And we started watching TCM. And you know what? That postcode content is pretty clean.
Yeah.
So we watched it and we really bonded over that. And then eventually we decided to start a website where kids could be movie critics. And so through that, I was able to hear and read how kids feel about movies and how they think. And so that's why, this message of someone's acting bad the whole time, but in the end, they come around. They don't take that. If they see, and in this case, during the Depression, they saw these guys driving around in big cars and women and, they've got money. Kids think, won't happen to me.
Right. It doesn't really matter to them necessarily what the final moral is. They see something on there they want to emulate. They're going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever graduate with your son to pre-code movies, or did you not go? Did you not show him those at a young age?
I think TCM was showing those late at night, so we didn't get there until he was much older. But yeah, now we go to the TCM Film Festival together all the time.
I like that. Okay, Tara. Well, that was the pre-code gangster film. Stick around because coming up next we have the after the code gangster film from 1939, starring James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart.